So, all right. Verde, me. Verde, perfect. Verde, perfect. Me. Oh, hi, Mark. So today we're going to be going over headlocks. Lots and lots of headlocks. Headlocks and probably some headlocks. Back with you. Yeah. All right. Professional pineapple. Good, stay base. You're doing great. Yes, ma'am. Hip escapes are like 2 laps. Thank you. Turn that heel, drive your weights, stay as low to the ground as possible. Let's get the head a lot lower to the ground. Yes. The whole time. See, it's coming off the ground when you come back. Keep your head on the ground. Your head can be used against you. That's looking good. Yes. So we want to keep the head on the ground. It's very important. What happened? How do I fix this? What do I do? Oh my God.
Pin yourself.
Pin yourself. Pin. We're pinned. All right. Oh, what the fuck are you doing?
I think you do the thing when you switch.
The thing?
Yeah.
I can do it again.
When you switch your hips, like you roll in the other side.
Yeah, I can do it again. Are we talking about kick defense, the teeter totter?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a thing. All right, no. Okay, so just quickly, I'm going to answer that question before we start today's class. Today's class is going to be headlock standing and headlock sucking right into the mouth. Stand up, please. And you stand exactly where you are. Perfect. All right, so if I'm sitting on the camera, what she's asking about was that when you do the thing. The thing she's talking about is called the teeter-totter defense. So if she's standing over there and I need to line myself up with her, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, or 1. Okay? So imagine we're doing this. I'm going to sit here on my butt, tuck my elbows in. Okay? If I fall, I'm going to fall off into the side and use my connection to the ground to line me up. And that actually takes a lot more practice than you think, because most people will do this. But your job is to connect to the ground and be as efficient as possible to turning towards the body.
Is there a 180-degree version?
There is.
Oh.
Never turn your back on the enemy. So when I'm walking you, stay where you are, and I'm going to move you. Okay? Tuck your elbows to your bones. Imagine you're going to go, boop. And now I want you to use that elbow to just kind of, boop. Yes. Boop. Yes. Pause. Sit up straight. Stay where you are. That was good. Okay. Stay where you are. Fall to your side. Come back towards me. No. See how you fall back? Yeah, go back. Fall literally to your side.
On this side.
No, where I point, fall where I point and come towards me. Yes, what you're doing is you're using the round of that ass to roll yourself up.
Oh,
Yes. Okay, so lock your core. Use the round of that ass, 100%.
Okay.
Roll that way. Oh, you mean this way? This way. Fucking that way.
Understand.
You do realize we have a class today, right? Good.
I wanted to optimize my escapes on camera.
Right. Anyways, I'm going to start teaching while she's talking. What I was talking about before was keeping the head on the ground, which she's not doing. I can see her on the camera. Jesus.
I'm doing it.
Keep your head as low to the ground as possible. Yes, I want you to be a part of the ground. That's important because the ground is always there. Okay? You can always use the surface. Use the wall, use the ground, use the pole, use the sturdy object to make yourself sturdy.
Like
Base. Sorry?
I feel like a worm.
You're doing great. Oh, Laura, standing base, please. And let's teach the warm-up. Come. All right, so we're doing a whole bunch of headlock stuff today. So what I want you to do is warm up your neck, because everybody that does headlock stuff always ends up walking out of class like this. Okay? Your job is not to get on your hands and knees and do neck bridges. You don't need to do that. Make 2 fists. Put your fingers underneath your chin. Okay? From here, I'm going to push my chin down, and I'm going to push my hands up, and I'm going to start to do a little head bang. Okay? That's warming up the back of my neck. It is doing a very good job. Be doing a better job if I shut the hell up. Now, when you do that, personal tip, push your tongue into the top of your mouth and tense your neck. That way you're flexing everything as much better. Now, once you've done that a couple of times, put a palm on the side of your head. Now start to do the same thing. I'm pushing my palm across, I'm pushing my head into my palm, and just slowly rotating my head up and down, and a little bit in circles, side to side, up and down, little circles. Other side, up and down, all right, little circles. If you hear that cracking, crunching noise, it means you led a really interesting life. Oh, God. Oh, how's that feeling? Warmish, right? So let's add on to that. One thing that you can do is you can put your head on a wall. And you can lean your hips forward, push your tongue into the top of your mouth, little side to sides. You're doing the same thing, but you can't put your hands behind your head properly. So use a wall. That way you're not putting so much weight on your vertebra by doing arches, right? Unless you're hurt. Okay, guys. So let's talk about headlocks. All right, so the idea of the headlock, let me just get on the side. Now many people come up to you and give you a noogie, okay? So mostly when they teach this in classes all around the world, they'll come and be, okay, headlock. How does a headlock happen? Shit happens sometimes, okay? If you've ever been in a kerfuffle, like a fight, but that's not really a fight, because if you ever watch fights, they're not really fights. Have you ever seen somebody get into a fight? It's kind of sad. So yeah, for real, like fights in movies are amazing. They're cool, they're choreographed, they're awesome. Fights in real life, so whatever, bro, come on. It's fucking retarded watching people fight that don't know how to fight. You need to learn how to deal with that before you start learning how to fight, okay? So 9 times out of 10, the fucking big old headlock actually comes off of a haymaker, okay? I've ended up in a headlock twice because of haymakers. Never because someone did, come here, chill. No one ever did this to me, not once. But they have done a motion that looks very similar to it, okay? So maybe your base is a little off. Maybe your base is on and they continue through. You can still end up in a headlock, okay? A lot of ways you can end up here, but the number one thing that you should be wary of right now is this. So big old shitty haymaker, the John Wayne punch, okay? Your job is just to find your base. And I want you to practice a couple times, keeping your base and then finding your base in a headlock, okay? So what I mean by finding your base in a headlock, I'd like you to stand over here, face the camera, pause. If I'm testing her neutral base, find it. Find it better. Better. There's a seat back there. Yes. Were your forearms touching your thighs?
Nope.
Fine, she's got base. Whatever, dick. Okay. So when you're helping your partner find a neutral base, your job eventually is not to into base, is to go, oh, find that base. Whatever. All right, find your base. Don't wiggle when you do it. Not bad. Okay. So her job, fall into base. If you look at me from the side, boom, I'm falling into base. My shoulders are rolling forward. My spine is arched like I'm doing the worst deadlift in the world. My butt is not sitting down, it's sitting back. Okay? Stop it, they're distracting. My job is to start to sit back for a chair, let my shoulders round, and let my hands hang between my knees. My knees are pointed out nice and relaxed, not buckled in. They're pointed out nice and relaxed. I never want my nose before my toes. So if my hands are hanging in front of my toes, I'm going forward. If my forearms are touching my thighs, I'm going backwards. I need to find the middle. So find it. Good. Pause. There is a spear running from shoulder to shoulder, and that spear never tips. It stays in line. Good. There's a spear running from shoulder to hip. It never tips. It stays in line. Yes. Yes. Cool. So you can test your partner side to side with push and pull. Your job is not to throw them across the room to prove a point. Just add a little weight and see if they're connected from their left foot to their right shoulder. It should be fairly solid. Fairly solid-ish. That one was a little bit wonky. Come on.
I was thinking
Mean it. Push from your right foot to your left shoulder and mean it. Stop wiggling your hips all the time. Mean it. Bend. Stick your butt back. You don't have to curl your hip bones underneath you. In fact, I want your ass out. Yes. Now, relax. Does that feel different to you? Good. Okay, you found your base. Now, we're going to check our partner from behind by wrapping an arm around them. Now, from here, go ahead and relax. If I pull, she's off base. So she needs to take out the slack by making a connection. Very good. Turn around for the camera, please. Find your base, neutral. Perfect. If I start to pull back, let it go. Find your base and make a connection. Click. That's very good. I can't pull her back anymore because her tailbone said nope. And it found a connection to me. It could be my femur, could be my hip, doesn't matter. She needs to take out the slack and add weight. Okay? Again, neutral base. Yeah. Yes. Yes, good. What about this? Yeah. All right. So if I pull from behind, she takes out the slack with her tailbone. If I pull from the front, pause here, and her head goes down, her nose goes before her toes. It's a headlock. Okay. I'm going to give her a noogie. So she doesn't want that. So her hip bone is going to take out the slack. Perfect. What she's doing is she's standing up straight, and the hip that's closest to me is pushing forward. So common mistake with this, people are getting tested will do this and push their hips forward. Stop it. Click. That's all it takes. Hip, hip bone. That's all. Okay, because you're already here. Click. That's all you need. You're already here. Click. That's all you need. Here. Click. That's all you need. Here. Click. Click. It doesn't have to be too much. If I give too much, it can be used against me. If I give just enough, click, to take out the slack, I become a pain in the ass. If I give too much, it's all about finding the middle shit. Base. Neutral. Pause. Yes. 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 Perfect. All right. I'm happy. Her goal is to be in the middle. Now, worst case scenario, standing neutral in front of me. Right now, if I get a little bit close, I'm about a hand's distance. Why are you being adorable? Stop it. She's literally in trouble. Stop fucking helping me. All right. Right now, I'm about a hand's distance away from you. What should you be doing other than giggling?
Hands up.
What's up? All right.
Man.
You don't have to be that fucking weird. You could just be weighting the toes and your hands are active. I don't know you. Even if I did know you, my hands are probably up.
My hands were active.
Well, I thought your hands were active. There we go. So your hands need to be in the middle. Your weight needs to be in your toes. You don't know this person. Okay? Whole bunch of different escalation stuff we can talk about. But right now, she's about here. She shouldn't be too late if I was to do this. That's not bad at all. Okay? She even took a step in. You don't necessarily have to. You just need to be in the middle of the room. No, I don't want to get hit. Okay? Pause, slow motion, block. Let it go a little bit. If I end up like this, what should you find? Yes, you should find your base. Okay? So a good game to play off of this is if your partner gives you a big haymaker, let it go and let them put you in a headlock. Don't click. Okay. Don't let them pull you down. Your job is to always stay standing. I want you to stay standing, right? If you go to the ground, it's because you had to go to the ground. We're going to show that next. But for now, one more time, stay where you are. Weights in your toes, your hands are in the middle. Good. I'm going to reach for the ear. You're going to block. You're going to let it go. Relax. Good. Now, I want you to connect your hip bones and me. Perfect. Again. Both hands up. Is your neck warm enough for this? Remember to warm your neck up.
Well, we did.
I know. You should have done it for more than 10 seconds. You want to do a little bit more before we start?
That's
Ooh, fine. Be done even. That's fine. Don't let me pull you to the ground. Don't let me pull you to the ground. Your job is to try and, we're going to swap roles now, and she's going to do that to me. You're going to give me a big old haymaker, and you're putting me in a headlock. Pull my head to the ground. Ah, I'm late. If I have to use my lower back for anything, I'm wrong. Okay? Your job is to not have to use your lower back. It should always be your glutes. Your glutes should be firing for all of this stuff. Okay? Your hip bone needs to make a connection. If you've gone down too low, we'll talk about that in a second, but if you've gone down too low, get your hips up underneath you. Okay? So one more time, my partner's gonna give me a little slap. They're gonna put me in a headlock. I was late. Perfect. From here, let your partner test if they can pull your head down slow motion. Good. Come back. My job is just this. My hip bone makes a connection. Pull my head down. I'm going to hold my partner's hip. They're going to hold their hands together, and they're going to take their feet off of the ground. Perfect. Okay? So you should be able to be over dramatic with this. Once you turn for me. When I'm here, my hand is just a brace to help my partner test my base. Okay? So I'm going to hold on to the base. We're not worrying about any headlock stuff right now. It's just a base test. Hold tight. Tight. Pause here. Click. Take your legs off of the ground and stay there. There shouldn't be any kind of struggle on my part. Okay? Now, again, take your legs off of the ground and stay there. If I'm falling forward at all, stop. Okay? What I want from you is perfect connection and base. You're going to go click. Now, my nose is not before my toes, and I'm not using my lower back or my strength. There's no strength involved in this. So if you're hurting yourself doing this, stop it. Okay? You shouldn't hurt. You should go click and hold and just stay standing up straight. That's all. Squeeze your butt cheeks if you have to. Okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'll try.
Okay. If it hurts, stop.
Yeah.
Okay? So pause here. I'm going to hold on to her neck. Okay? I want you to really push that hip bone forward with the left hip. Yes. Yes.
No.
No, that's okay. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Push your hips forward. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Push your hips forward.
No.
Okay. Come a little bit at a time. It's literally not about strength. Trust me. I don't have a lower back. Okay? It's my hips doing this. One more time. Take your feet off of the ground. Do you feel me struggling to do it?
No.
Okay. Now, this was you. Stand. Take your feet off the ground. You feel that?
Okay.
I want you to squat your knees a little bit, point them out, and I want you to walk away and look at me. I want you to squat your knees a little bit, put your butt back, and just go click with your hip. Let's try that. Find a neutral base.
I wonder if the other side will be done.
We can try either side you want, but I want you to bend your knees. I want you to start to find a chair behind you, like you're finding neutral base. Pause. Make a connection with your hip bone. Okay. I want you to squat more. Push your hip forward. Let's try the other side. You're doing okay.
I know I did it once.
I want you to pull your head back, push your hip forward, and bend your knees. Oh, right. It's getting there. It's getting better. I want you to hold your head back. Push your head back. Push your hip forward. Bend your knees. Don't use your hands to hold me. Just that hip bone should be enough. It's getting. It's okay. It takes a bit of time to be able to do this. Okay? And she has done this before, multiple times. Literally to Hickson. Holding Hickson. He's obviously a better teacher than me. He's a much better teacher. Okay. So what I want from you, over here, put me in that one. Practicing with your partner, finding your base. From here, it's not this. Take your legs off of the ground. Yes, that's my lower back. It's my knees spread, my hip takes out the slack, and I'm pulling my head back. Okay, so I have backwards and forwards, and I have stability in my legs in the middle. It's not here, and it's not here. Find your base. Take your legs off of the ground. You should be in the middle. Okay? And we're gonna practice that some other time together. Okay? And it takes time. Okay? Don't feel bad falling forward. Don't feel bad falling back. That's you finding base. There's nothing wrong with finding base. Okay? Your job is to find it. It takes a while, right? It took me like 3 fucking years. I sucked. Okay? Now, headlock. Haymaker. Oh, it slipped. We ended like this. Yes. Good. Okay. So let's do it with the headlock. Right now, if you have a bit of base, and someone starts pulling your head to the ground, and it's hard to pull the head to the ground. What's another way for me to go to the ground? I can't go forward. I can't pull this person's head forward. What if I started doing this to try and pull them down? See how she started going down? Maybe the headlock person starts to bend their knees. Look how I'm going downwards, okay? When they've exhausted the efforts of pulling forward to double you over and hockey punch the shit out of you, right here, if they start to squat down, we're gonna deal with that first, because that one actually happens if you have base. Your partner's gonna put you in a headlock. Pause. From here, I've got my chin tucked and my head turned right away, and my hands are ready position. What that means is, whatever's coming, I'm in the middle, okay? Now from here, I want you to pull my head forward. Click. See how it's hard to do? Start to bend your knees down. See how I get dragged down whether I like it or not, okay? Do that again. It's a strain on my back.
Yeah.
You don't need to fight that. Don't fight that. They're giving you something. Again. Start to bend your knees down. Sit them down, okay? They're already sitting for you. Just put something behind them. Let's stand on this angle, please. I want you to put me in a headlock. And don't do anything just yet. Find your base with your partner, your hip bones connecting, your hands are in what's called the ready position, which means I'm ready for anything. If she starts to bend her knees to sit, I'm bending my knees to sit too. Pause, walk away from me. I'm bending my knees too, okay? I'm not doing this, trying to stop somebody from doing something. I'm here, I'm in base. I'm perfectly fine. I should be able to bend down and pick something up. Do you bend down like this to pick shit up? If you do, stop it. Keep your back straight. You're a monkey. Again. Headlock. Pause here. I want you to start to bend your knees. Pause. If you look on the camera, who has base? My hand goes behind. My hand holds the hip. And now I just take a step out of the way. Okay. Now, there's 2 variations on the theme. One, your partner can do a break fall, or 2, they can hold on. Okay? We're going to do hold on next. For now, one more time, my partner will let go and they'll do a quick break fall. Okay? Facing the camera. Just here, headlock, pause. Your partner tries to pull your head down. Doesn't work. Continues to pull your head down, but starts to bend. Hand to the hip bone. Hand behind. Keep your base. Step out of their way. Your partner does the break fall. Good. Let's do it on one more angle, just over here. Headlock. Pause. Ready position. Pull my head forward. Never gonna happen. Bend your knees down. Yes. Fine. Okay. Now for this variation, you're gonna do it right here. And I want you to hold on to my head forever and never let go. Pause here. Pull my head forward. Good. Bend down. Never let go. Drop to the knees. My weight is in my butt. Okay? If my weight's forward, pull my head to the ground. Ah. I've always got my weight heavy behind me. Pull my head forward. I got nowhere else to be for now. Time. We'll practice that a couple of times. Are you okay to do that?
Sure.
Cool. Let's give it a go.
Although my base sucks.
The base does not suck. You are never bad at base. Okay? So, no, you're not. No, I know people that are bad at base. I know people that have never found base. They went to go and find themselves, never found their fucking base. It is not hard to do if you stick with it, okay? Don't give up on doing it. It's worth doing, trust me. It's gonna add to what you do later. Now, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm lowering myself
Finding her base.
without bending.
Laura. Okay, so base is mobile. That's a huge thing to remember. No matter what, you think you have base, if your head's moved this way, no. I have base now. It's readjusting all the time. Okay? What you're learning with this is you're learning how to take out the slack. That's something that's never really taught in jiu-jitsu. The main thing that's usually taught in jiu-jitsu is the most complicated fucking thing ever so that you feel good about yourself. It shouldn't be like that. It should be simple. Get out of your way. That's how hard jiu-jitsu should be. It shouldn't be a 40-step fucking choke. Not helping. If you have to do more than 10 steps for something, think about it. Okay? Your base should be step 1, and then step 2 through 2 should have been the move.
You're yelling at
Sorry. I'm passionate. Fuck you. All right. So the idea of finding your base is super important. It's coffee. Because that's going to calm me the fuck down. So the idea behind this, the more things you do, the more steps you have to something, most things are taught as a move. He does this, you do this, this, this. He's your counter. Stop. Your counter should have been having base and not being there in the first place. Should have been a lot easier, right? So if you don't have base, then you have to know all these moves. The first move you should learn is base, and that takes a lot of time, okay? And the big thing behind base is you taking out the slack and not overcommitting to something. That's the best explanation that I can come up with for base, okay? It sounds like some weird voodoo shit. It's not. It is taking out the slack on your opponent and not over or under committing to anything, okay? Done. Okay, you happy? That's enough. That's enough yelling. Shut up and find your base. Pause here. Let's say big haymaker. I caught you in the headlock. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take out the slack and make it hard for you to pull your head down. Yes, that's enough. That's more than enough. 100% forward. No, you're standing up straight when you do that. Push your right hip bone forward.
I'm doing it.
Okay. Anyways, we're just that's better. Oh no. Shit, that was close. It was close. We're in a headlock. Pause. Let your base go. Let your base go. You don't want this. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Don't let me do that. Pause. Get your hands up in the middle. What happens if I want to hit both hands? You don't need my hip. Good. Happened great. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay. So from here, you don't need my hip for anything right now. You need to protect yourself and don't let me wreck yourself. Yes. Good. Maybe as you're doing this, you feel that strain on your lower back.
Yeah.
Okay. Take your right hand, hold the hip bone down. Take your left hand, the other hip bone. That's the one. Now put this hand behind my leg as you squat down. As you squat down, I'll take a big step back and just let me sit down.
Okay.
That's it. I'm the one that wants that. Okay? Let's do that again on the same thing.
Should I just let you go?
Yes. Pause here. Try to pull you forward. Fine. I'll pull you down. Get out of your own way. Pause. I want you to put the hand behind my leg. So you're going to be pulling my hip and pushing the hand. And get out of your way. Pause here. I'm going to squat. You're going to squat with me. Don't do anything else. Put your left hand behind my leg. And you don't have to cup it. Let's say it's backwards. There you go. That's fine. What I mean is just slap the backhand. You don't have to grab anything. Backhand. Hold this. Push this. Step out of your way. 100%. Okay? That's going to be the next move as well. Let's do it on this angle. No resistance. I start to squat, you start to squat. Pull this, push this, step out of your way. Yes. Let's do that again on this end. I start to squat, you start to squat. Pause. Hold this, push this, step out of your way. Yes. We're going to do it one last time. This time I'm going to hold on for your life, and you're going to come down to your knees. Slow motion. I start to squat, you start to squat. Hold this, push this. Yes, heavy in the knees. Don't let me pull your head. That's very good. Heavy in the butt, post off your hands. That's fine. Good, I'm happy. Okay, so that would be step 2 of this class. Step 1 is dealing with being in the middle. The haymaker happens, take out the slack. Okay? Who knows? Maybe you're friends with a bunch of weird college guys looking at movies. I don't know. It has a lot of different reasons. The haymaker, that's usually the way it happens to me. me. I don't ever find anyone, and I just won't. I promise. So for this, step one, block the punch, but give up the block. End in the headlock, ready position, take out the slack of your hips to get a feeling for base. Your partner can test your base by lifting your legs off the ground. If you can't do it, that's fine, you got a lifetime. Take your time and relax the reins, okay? Now, next step, they got the headlock. They can't pull forward because their base, they're not gonna strike for this variation. They're gonna start to squat down. You're gonna get out of their way, okay? That should be a metaphor for all of jiu-jitsu. Get out of their way. Now, let's deal with the idea of someone pulling the head down. I want you to put me in a headlock, and maybe I didn't have enough time. Just believe me, there's always enough time, okay? As long as you understand the idea of using your hips instead of your lower back, you're fine. So pull my head down. This is not great for me, but if I feel okay with this, I should be able to just say, hey, no, and stand up, and it's just embarrassing, especially when the guy is huge. If you understand connection and base, you'll be able to do that, okay? But for now, they're giving you an invitation to end up on top of them on the ground. To, like, take the invitation, okay? You don't have to lift and hoist and sled. You can gently put this person on the ground, modify the mount, and say, can you not ever do that again, okay? So I want you to hold on to my head for dear life and not let go, okay? Headlock, pull my head forward, and relax. You're safe. Right off of the camera. We tried. Let's do it this side, please. No, we're fine. Stand over here. Put me in a headlock. And turn. And never let go. Pause here. My base is broken. My hands on the hip. My hands are in the ready position just in case. Hand to the hip bone. Hand to the leg. Pull, push, just like we did before. But I need to create an angle. Not butter. I need to create an angle. From here, I'm going to straighten my leg, and I'm going to sit down. And up on top, off of the camera. Let's do it over here one more time, see if we can stay on the camera for this. No butter. Pause here. Headlock with your partner. Your posture's broken. Pause. Hand finds the hip bone. Hand blocks the arm just in case for now. What I'm going to do is a setup step. So I'm turning towards him. There's nothing controlling my hips, so there's no reason that I can't do this. From here, this hand is going to reach for the knee, okay? Imagine I want to push it away. This hand is holding the hip, and I'm going to pull. So I'm going to push, and I'm going to pull. Stay solid as you can. I'm going to start to sit on my butt and straighten out my back leg. And I come up, time, into a modified mount off camera. This is impossible. Okay, let's try it this way. Come with me, students. Hold on a room over here. No reason that I should end off the camera. Allora. Start with a headlock. Your posture is broken. Take your hand, hold the hip. Take your hand, block the arm just in case. You're not teaching a class, so tuck your chin, hide your neck, squeeze my neck off. Hard as you can and never give up anything. Please, God. Yes! Yes, we did it. Okay, time. Have a look at me without her, okay? What we're doing is this. Your base has been broken, okay? Your connection, your base is okay. Your connection's been broken, okay? So what we need to do is we need to use this like a controlled demolition, okay? So right now, I've got my head down. I'm holding the hip. I can't reach that leg, and pulling them back is a bit of a struggle. We'll talk about that in advanced fundamentals, okay? If they're squatting down, don't throw your leg through and do that. Then you just get a guillotine yourself. From here, get out of your own way. That way. Where I am is where we're gonna go, okay? So just like we did before, when we started squatting, hold the hip, block the leg, get out of your own way. Same thing, hold the hip, block the leg, get out of your own way, okay? So, connection. When we're here, the head's forward. We're gonna hold on to the hip bone, tuck the chin, bury the neck, protect yourself, okay? From here, my hand is up, ready position just in case. I'm gonna take a setup step on an angle because my hips aren't locked in. I hold the hip bone, I'm gonna touch the knee. I don't care how you do it, okay? You're gonna push, you're gonna pull. And now, you're gonna get out of your way by straightening your leg and pulling your elbow to your hip. Now from here, I can step over into what's called a modified mount. We're gonna go over that a little bit more later on in the class, okay? I want you to do this, and then we'll get into the ground work, okay? Stand right here, please, and thank you. And Jesus Christ, the lighting's way better here. Yeah, maybe we're doing the classes from this angle from now on. All right, time. Elbow, yes, yes, pause here, okay? What I want from you, hand on the hip, tuck your chin, good. I want you to take a step around me. Yes, yes, pause. I want you to take your right foot and point your toes between my feet. Good, and you can actually step your foot between my feet. Yes, that's a better angle. Okay, now from here, touch my knee. You feel how you created an angle to where you can touch? Good. I want you to start to straighten your left leg and sit on your left butt cheek. Yes, yes, yes. Almost.
I freaked out.
I know you did. I know you did. I want you to do this. Look at me. Straighten your leg. Sit down on your left butt cheek. Your elbow comes in, and you can step over. Okay? Let's do that without me.
Yeah.
Pretend I'm there. Face the camera, please.
So I'm here.
Bend your head forward. Hold on to the hip. Good. Take a step around. Pause. How does your base feel?
Shit.
Okay, point your knees out, squat your butt down, and find your base. Yes, you should not be wobbly ever. Okay, no butter. From here, pull your left elbow to your left hip bone as you straighten your leg and sit back. Don't sit down, sit back. Come back, please. You're doing good. Okay. Break your base, hand on the hip, set up step. Okay, pause here. When you start to sit down, I want you to pull your left elbow to your left hip bone, and I want you to sit your left ass cheek way over there, way far away. See how you're kind of sitting down? Follow me. Yes, step over. You did it. Do it again. It's okay, you're gonna do it with me next. One more time, sit away. It's like you're pulling them across your leg, not onto you, across you. Yes, that's not a thing. Start to straighten your left leg and sit your ass way over there. Way, yes. Yes, good. That was good. Okay. So the most common mistake you're gonna see with this is if you sit down, you pull them onto you. Here, please. Headlock. Pause here. And we'll do it on the other side for continuity in just a second. If I do this and I do this, I did it. I got a break from here. You need to get out of your own way. One more time. Headlock. When I take that sit-up step, I'm pushing my butt cheek way far away. I'm going around them in a circle. Okay? I don't want to go down. I want to go out. Okay, let's come over here one more time. Pause. Hip bone. Knee, a set-up angle. I straighten my left leg. Hold on for dear life. My butt is going way over there. Now, I can come up to a modified mount. You're going to try it one more time. We're going to move on. Same side. Relax. Don't move. Here. Okay? Oh, is this the side we're doing? No. There you go. Pause. Hip bone. Chin. Set up step. Knee. Pause. Reach for my knee. Yes. You're going to straighten out that left leg and pull me way across it. You got this. No. Time. And we're going to move on to the next move. Normally, I would have a lot of time to keep running you through this and fix her. I'm going to fix her after class so that we can keep on with the class, okay? Now, let's move on to the next part of this. We end up in what's called a modified mount. We end up basically on top of the mount, but in a headlock, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to lay on your back, head towards the camera. Perfect. Let's scoot over this way because we got a whole new series of events on camera now. All right, pause. So worst case scenario, we get to the mount. Best case scenario, we get to the mount. We could have been in a headlock standing and dragged down. We're still in a headlock on top of the mount. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But for now, if I was neutral on mount and my partner was to reach up and grab my head in a headlock. Perfect. Okay. Yes. Pause. Let's turn for the camera. So her arms are a little short. Some people, I'm not shitting on it. Her arms are a little short. See how she's had to turn on her side to try and do this. There's nothing wrong with that. I want you to look in the headlock. Yes. Okay. So now from here, if she was to try and get up to her knees, where my head goes, my body follows. So I need to know how to modify that, and I need to know how to prevent that get up. So I want you to lay down one more time, head going this way. Just here. Headlock. The moment my partner puts me in a headlock, I can't stay neutral like this. My leg is trapped, and she's obviously going to be turning to this side because that's the way her head's going. But where the head goes, the body follows. I'm choking to death. Please like that. That's okay. From here, hold your hands together and pause. Perfect. What I want to do is I want to modify the mount. My left knee is going to slide behind the head. My right knee goes to the ceiling. Time, I'll get you a scoot away from it. If I'm neutral right here, I'm going to slide my knee up and step my south leg to the ceiling, put all my weight in my butt. Okay? From here, it's this motion. Boom. My hands are posts, I'm heavy in the butt, and my chest is always down. I never sit up triumphantly because I'm not triumphant yet. One more time, please. So we're going to be modifying the mount. Your partner's going to put on a headlock. Perfect. They're going to turn to the side. You're going to modify. Perfect. Now, this looks exactly like we landed from the headlock standing in multiple ways. Remember the sit down? We ended here. Technically, we ended here, and we can take a step over. Now, the headlock rolling the fence, we ended here. Modified. Okay? So your partner's going to be holding onto your head. Good. Now, from here, I want you to get up to your knees. Get up. If I don't do anything about that, my head's going to get dragged to the ground every time. Is that you? Oh. All right. I want you to turn this way for the cameras. Scoot back. Perfect. So what's going to happen is this. Turn on your side without me. Hold me in an imaginary headlock. If she takes a big step over with her legs, yes, she's able to get up to her knees. And where my head goes, my body follows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prevent this get up. We're going to actually do it on this angle so you can see what I do. And this scoot way closer to the camera, please. Okay, pull us here, head to the camera. Scoot a little bit closer to me, where I am. Perfect. Now, what's going to happen is this. My partner's going to have me in that headlock. When they step up and they try to get to their knees, I'm going to drag them back. I need you to really get to your knees. Take a big step. Yes. Good. And I drag back. Pause. Take a big step over. Get your butt off of the ground. That's perfect. One more time. Big step over. Butt off the ground. Perfect. Time. What's happening is this. Take a big step over and leave your hip on the ground. From here, I don't have any problem. She's not getting up, is she? Get up. There's my problem. Okay? Pause. Point your knee to the ceiling. Lift your butt up. Good. Okay. So from here, when somebody starts to lift their butt off of the ground, they're not connected to the ground. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag them back into that. So every time my partner swaps legs, so from here, neutral, nothing happening. When you swap your leg, from here, if they don't do anything, I don't have to do it. If their butt comes off the ground, I have to say no. And I pull them back to neutral. One more time, step over, butt comes up, and my leg says no. One more time, she stands up, my leg says no. One more time, my leg says no. Again. Now's the time. Okay, pause. I want you to move away from me. If you look at me, remember, I'm in a headlock and my hands are posted. What's happening is this. When that butt comes up, I need to drag it back. So my knee slides up and my leg drags back. My knee slides up and my leg drags back. Knee slides up, leg drags back. You want to try that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hop on top of the mount. Good. From here, I'm gonna have to turn my body. Yes, pause here. Put your hands on the ground. Perfect. I shouldn't be able to pull you forward. Now, if I switch my legs, you can feel my leg, can't you? That's a pretty big physical indicator, okay? Now from here, drag me back. It's not gonna happen. Yes, perfect. The moment my hip lifts, slide your left knee behind my head and slide your right leg back. Yes, good. Loosen up, relax a little bit, you're doing good. Feel this. Yes, 100%, good work. Okay, so your job is to prevent the get up, okay? So what that means is I've got a headlock, squeezing your head off, and I'm gonna roll my knees. Where your head goes, your body follows. So you need to prevent that by changing the angle and dragging them back. Their hips don't get to leave the ground. So every time that I'm doing this, nothing's happening until now. You drag me back. Now, you drag me back. Okay?
Do you go? I'm a bit worried of over-committing forward.
Yeah, always have your weight far back in your butt. Don't overcommit your weight forward. Find your base. It's a very good question. Okay? So when you're here, your hands are posts. But remember, all your weight needs to be back here in your butt. If they start to pull, bring your weight back into your butt. Oh my God, I'm in base. Oh, my nose is before my toes. Oh shit, I'm in base.
Okay.
Oh, my nose is before my toes. Ah shit, I'm in base. Good. Okay, good question. All right, so let's add on to that. Now, two things that can happen. One, they exhaust themselves and they just let go and they try and run away. Two, they just lay there. They huddle up in a little ball and they squeeze your head forever and ever and ever because that's how fights end. Some people will just hold on like a dog. They're like, nope, that's fine now. Fight's never gonna end. We'll talk about that last and get to do her favorite arm lock. But the first thing we need to do is what happens if, right? So I want you, come out. Good. If I put you in a headlock at that time, what do you have to do? You have to modify. Perfect. If I try to get up, you're going to prevent the get up and drag you back. Perfect. Maybe I say, fuck this. What do you do? Yes. That's good. You take the back. Your knee is up by the head for a reason. That back hook can enter easily. You can take the back from here. So Elisa, pause here, headlock. Perfect. If I give up on this, right now, two things can happen. I can lay here and cry. I'm going to apologize. Actually, a few things can happen. I could turn back towards her. Hey, look, it's the mount. Oh, shit. Now from here, I could lay on my side. Oh, shit, it's an arm lock. Pause here. I could get up. Now, from here, if you can see, Elisa's knee is up by my head. It's not far down by my hip bone. And this heel is pulled tight to my hip. Good. Knee to the ceiling. Can you see that on the camera?
No.
Come on, start with me. Modified mount. The knee should be behind my head, and this knee should be to the ceiling, heel pulled into me. It doesn't have to be so tight, but it's there. You're fine. Pause here. When I start to come up, what I'm doing is I'm opening a door behind me for that back hook to enter. Yes, that hook slides in. Now, right away, she wants to crawl down my back. She wants to get her hips in line with my hips. Good. Now from here, she can either flatten it out or take my back. Today, we're going to take the back. So I want you to pick a side, drag me back. Pick a side, drag me. Yes, put on a seatbelt. That was the wrong side, but I love you.
I was gonna do.
Okay, time. Actually, that was a completely correct side.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the wrong side. Right. So
I'll take my strike back.
It's over. Aw.
I lost it with the takedown. Sorry.
You're gonna get that. Right. So if they let go and they go to the knees, take it back. Okay? If we have time, I'll show a little extra off of that. Now, if they hold on to your head, we're gonna have to talk about how to break that off. So do me a favor. When you're done, you're okay. Segue. Facing the camera, scoot back towards me a little bit, please. Now, turn on your side. Modified now. Headlock. Perfect. Now, if your partner is holding on to the headlock, for the sake of teaching, stay where you are. I'm going to sit up for this. If your partner is holding on to the headlock, remember your weight is back and heavy in your butt, and your hands are bent. okay? They're not letting you get pulled over. And if they try to get to their knees, you can drag them back, okay? If they let go, they let go. If they don't, they don't. Now, if they're holding on, you need to give them a reason to let go. Finger in the eye socket. Nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't do that unless you have a lot of money and time on your hands. So let's put them into a position where we can say, please don't touch me. Hold on again, pause. Ah, no, that's my arm. I'm gonna do an arm lock. Okay, so one more time. Pause, hold the head down. From here, for me to pull the head up, I can't go upwards, it's my lower back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a frame, pinch my ear and shoulder together, and go up into the left. Okay? You okay?
Yeah.
We're going up and to the left. All right? So when you build this frame, head, pause. From here, the hand can go on the inside or the outside, it does not matter. Okay? What I want is your forearm's blade riding the neck. Okay? So it's just across the jaw. I want you to look towards me. It should be hard to do because I'm going to be pushing down in a minute. Right now, look towards me. I want it on the jawline. Okay? Now from here, I'm just going to put a C-clamp on my wrist. I pinch my ear and my shoulder together. I'm going to push up and to the left. What I'm doing is called subluxing the shoulder. I'm not being strong in dealing with her delts and her biceps and all that. I'm subluxing this shitty little thing over here. Now, one more time.
So interesting.
Interesting.
You have
Yes.
the head. Oh, like
Are you
facing.
gonna finish?
Yeah, no, if I can turn my head, then I guess.
You can, okay, so we'll talk about that now. So if she can turn her head towards me, she can pull her elbow to the mat.
Yeah.
Keep turning your whole body. Where your head goes, your body follows, right? So if she turns her chin, her spine and her hips will go with it. Now her elbow goes to the ground, and now there's no arm lock, okay? So what I want from you guys here, modified mount, headlock, pause. Start with your partner here holding on as tight as they can. You're gonna build a frame and say, no. Now, right away, I'm holding my shoulder and I'm gonna pin the chin. What I'm doing is I'm not letting them turn towards me and pull their arm out. So I pin the chin. My knee is tight to the back of the head, and now my forearm is tight to the front of her chin. That's gonna stop them from rotating towards me. Now, that's my arm. Even if it came out, it's my arm. I don't care, it's still happening. Now what I need to do is I need to achieve the angle to finish the arm lock. So my partner's gonna lift their elbow so that I don't pinch their skin doing this. Okay, safety tip. I'm gonna keep blocking the face. They're gonna block their face too, just in case I suck at this and I heel kick them in the nose. What I wanna do is I'm gonna walk my foot up, flare my knee, and take the weight off of my back leg. So that my leg can go over into the arm lock. Okay? You wanna try?
Yeah.
Start with your partner, full mount. From the full mount, your partner's gonna put the headlock on and they're gonna turn. Now from here, you're gonna modify. I'm not letting go for anything. So my partner's gonna build a frame. Pause. Perfect. Get a C-clamp on that wrist. Pinch your ear and shoulder together. Go up and to the left. Yes. Take your right hand and hold your shoulder. Good. Push my chin to the ground. Yes, your knee is tight behind my head. Walk your foot up. Flare the knee, throw the leg over, 100%. Now from here, in previous classes, we talked about how to finish breaking the arm. Just a quick review, pinch the knees, pull the heels, gently lift, tap. That's it. It's a lot easier than you think, okay? Ah, look at that, with time to spare. That's not bad. How do you feel about this? You good?
I feel the other side of the
Okay, so today's class, what we went over. We talked about the headlock standing. The headlock, 9 out of 10 times, doesn't come from somebody giving you a noogie. It comes from a big shitty haymaker. That shitty haymaker needs to be kind of base and blocking and saying, no, thank you, I don't want to fight. If they come up and they start hugging the head, no, thank you, I don't want to go to the ground. If they start squatting to the ground, I said, no, thank you, I don't want to. You end up on top. Worst case scenario, they pull your head down, fine. I will go to the ground with you, but I will be on top now, thank you. You're on top. Now, from the top, you don't let them pull you back to the ground because you want to be on top. You can play guard for the rest of your life later, okay? For now, be on top. That's the place where you can just punch people and fight's over faster. If you're on top, modify if they have a headlock so you don't get pulled over. Prevent the get up so you don't end up on bottom. And if they still can hold on for dear life, unlock, fine. If they let go and they give their back, take the back. So as a final little thing I'd like to show, this is a place where some people get stuck a lot. If you're in the mount and someone puts on a headlock, that's easy. What happens if they're holding your head and your arm? So this is not part of the fundamentals, it's just a little extra, okay? So do me a favor, lay down here towards the camera. Actually, no, I'll do it to you. So, oh, can you see you? Okay, so the class we just did was this. It's a headlock, right? Yeah, cool, come back. Ah, I've got your head and your arm together, okay? What I want from you is to modify, okay? And you're gonna continue that motion, but your arm slips out, okay? So people kind of get stuck there and go like, oh shit, what do I do now? I want you to lay down here towards the camera, please. And I want you to hug my head and my arm. Yes, okay, you got me. My head and my arm are squeezed. So I'm still in a headlock, and she's still kind of trying to roll me off into the side. Get like, Nina, yes, this is terrible for me. So I can't get out. The arm slips right out when you change the angle for the modified mount. Okay? Come back, please. Let's go on this now. Head and arm. Pause here. What I'm going to do is I'm still going to modify it. Pause. My head and my arm are tight together. Squeeze my head off. It's a shoehorn. Okay? So it's that same thing that we were doing when we were standing in the clinch. I'll talk about that in just a second. That shoehorn slips the head out without repercussion. So one more time. If I'm here, hold tight. I can't just pull the arm out. So I'm going to change the angle. Now my ear and my shoulder are together. Pull my head off. Now from here, I can still do the same things. I can still collect. I can still arm lock. Stand up with me, please. Just so you guys get a little bit of continuity with this. What I mean is this. If I'm here in a side clinch, put your hand on my belt. Yes, terrible. The hand's down there. Put me in a headlock. The exact same motion. You're taking out the slack. Okay, so that big letter L right here will be used against you. Take out the slack. If we're here, they've got that head and arm together. That big letter L can be used against you. So take out the slack. Your head and arm slip out. If they don't slip out, build a frame, do the arm lock anyways. Okay, you want to try that? Sure. Yeah. Up on top. Mount. Oh, gotcha. I want you to modify the mount. Good. Now from here, you feel good, don't you? See how you can just slip your head out because your arm's there like a wedge. Come back, settle down. Pause here. See how you can't pull your head out? Pull your head out. It's hard to do. Put your arm in. Pull your head out. You feel that? Come on, mean it. Push. Push my face. Yes. Okay. So your arm ends up being like a shoehorn. Okay. So let's do that one more time. One more time. As I'm doing it, pull your head out. Yes. Good. Oh, for God's sake. It was the end anyways. All right, Alora. Perfect timing. Dun, 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 dun. All right, do you have any questions about today's class?
No, I'll keep practicing that thing that I can do.
We're going to keep practicing that thing that she can't do. She did good today. Don't let her say she didn't. All right. Goodbye.